Morning, everybody. So yesterday we did a video about the little freak, and we'd continued this learning on from Wednesday, where we'd watched the actual video. The video is still there, if you do want to flick back and just have a little look at it to refresh your memory. But today we're actually going to be looking at the two characters, August and this little freak who is in the circus. And we're actually going to be thinking now about these two characters and creating similarities and differences between them. So to start off with, I've got the two characters here, as you can see. And what I'm going to be doing is creating just a bullet point list about the things that they have in common. So I'm going to say both of the characters, I'm not going to refer to them as children because we don't actually know the age of this character. So both of the characters are feel sad and lonely. Okay. I might then say August has a facial disfigurement which is similar to the other character. Okay, and so on. And we would continue our bullet point list about the similarities. Once I've then done all of the things that they have in common, I want you to get about 6 or 7. We're then going to look at the differences, so the things that they don't have in common that make these characters different. So you might say that the little freak is part of a circus show. You might say that August goes to school, and so on, okay? Just a little reminder from yesterday, there were still a couple of children that were getting the bullet points inaccurately punctuated. So please just remind yourselves that if you choose to start with a capital letter, all of them have to have a capital letter. If you choose to put a full stop, then all of them have to have a full stop. Vice versa as well. So if you don't want to put punctuation in, then you don't have to, but you don't do it for all of them. Okay, so just bear that in mind, guys. Okay, once we've done the similarities and differences, you need about 6 or 7 for each of these. I then want you to come up with some comparative sentences. So, for example, I'm going to get these bullet points that I've got, and I'm going to put them into full sentences. And I'm going to use these comparative conjunctions that I've just got here. I'll just move them over so we've got a bit more room. So I've just got some comparative conjunctions. However, you might think of some that are even better than mine. So we're then going to develop some sentences which have these comparative conjunctions, which basically compare our characters. So, for example, August goes to school in America. However, and then I'm going to go into detail about my other character because I'm comparing them both. However, the little freak, that should not be a capital, sorry, just because I've started a new line. The little freak does not go to school. And I can add a bit more detail. Instead, he is part of a circus act. Okay, I could say that. Then I'm going to come up with another sentence. So the idea is that I'm just coming up with about 7 comparative sentences based on all of these that I came up with earlier, and making sure that I include these. Now, because I've already included however, then obviously I'm not going to include that this time. So my next sentence, I'm going to look at the characters feel sad and lonely. So throughout the film clip of the little freak, throughout the film clip of the little freak, he is sad and lonely. On the other hand, August is sad and lonely. Is only sad and lonely when he falls out with Jack. Yeah? So the comparison there is the length of time. Now, there's one important thing that we need to remember. When we compare numbers in maths, I always say to you, make it fair. So make sure they've got the same number of decimal places. Yeah, make sure that if it's a fraction or a decimal, that they are all fractions or decimals, not a mixture of the two. So that's what we need to remember when we're comparing in English. We can't compare, for example, I'll write a very quick one. I can't say something like, Jack has brown hair. However, the other character has blue eyes. I can't talk about the hair and then the eyes of a different character because it doesn't make sense. I have to compare both of the same features. So if I'm talking about the hair, I talk about the hair, okay? So just bear that in mind. You have to compare the same thing. That's what I've done here. I talk about that he's going to school. This one, he doesn't go to school. This one, I'm talking about him being sad and lonely. However, this guy is only sad and lonely through part of the film. Okay. It might be handy for you guys, once you've developed your similarities and differences list, it might be helpful for you to either write down some conjunctions that are comparative, or keep this screen on so that you can pull them from here. Don't forget, if you've used however, try not to use it again. So I want about 7 sentences, please, that are comparative once you have completed your similarities and differences chart. Okay? Have a lovely lesson, everybody.